Hi, and welcome to this 307 SEM Management Sport Organization presentation, where we'll analyze how the NFL operates and managers can be an influence on the organization they work in. We'll look at some key areas into the NFL's management operation and how organizational theory of culture and conflict applies. Finally, we'll be able to identify via recommendations that can help the NFL in the future. The National Football League, commonly referred to as the NFL, is one of 5 major sports leagues in North America, made up of 32 teams located all around the country. An organization who is fiercely followed domestically and around the world, 16.5 million people have been recorded to have watched per game in an NFL season that runs from September to February. The regular and playoff season culminates with two of the best teams arriving as AFC and NFC champions, dueling it out in the Super Bowl. An incredible 70% of America's households with televisions tuned in to witness New England Patriots' comeback win against Atlanta Falcons in February 2017. Could these be the factors that make the NFL the greatest show on turf? The first organizational management area is culture. Culture is defined by the collection of values and norms that the organization believe in and seek to share with stakeholders of the company, as Trenberth and Hassan have identified. Stakeholders of the NFL include employees, coaches, players, media, fans, and sponsors. The NFL's relationship with stakeholders is created and retained as a result of each party's alignment of the organization's shared values and beliefs that everybody subscribes to. There are different aspects of organizational culture, otherwise referred to as the manifestations, which Trice and Bayer duly noted. These manifestations include ceremonies, rituals, heroes, stories, artifacts, and values. The American national anthem has long been a ritual in US sports, which is played before every match in the NFL. This could even be seen as the organization aligning to the values of the country, subsequently evoking patriotism. NFL's cultural values have also been demonstrated with affiliation with charitable causes such as breast cancer awareness. There is a point in every NFL season where everything turns pink, from the items players wear to the crowd sporting pink attire. The appearance of pink represents a campaign as being more apparent than ever, gaining great coverage and generous donations. As well as breast cancer awareness, there are game days at the NFL showcases which are dedicated to acknowledging servicemen and veterans. A campaign where instead of pink, teams wear camo fatigue colors, a homage to the organization and country's appreciation of war service and bravery. There has been a long-running ritual in the NFL calendar that the fourth Thursday of November has been of close interest. Not only used to eat turkey and prepare for Black Friday, but NFL games are played on American Thanksgiving Day. The Detroit Lions have kicked off Thanksgiving Day matches every year since 1934. Annual ceremonies are held in the NFL in the form of Hall of Fame inductions, which commemorate the careers of heroic players and winningest head coaches, replaying the best and most memorable contributions to the organization. Culture of NFL includes aspects of physical manifestation, such as celebrated stadiums within the league. Soldier Field in Chicago opened in 1924, has been renovated and is still in use today. Some others include Lambeau Field, home of the Green Bay Packers, and structural phenomena such as the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. The stories told and seen of snow games only acts as a galvanizing force for people to turn out in attendance and brave sub-zero temperatures to watch their team play. One of many "I was there" moments. To identify how organizational leaders manage culture, Handy's models of organization culture examines different work environments which include power, role, task, and person. Of these classes, task culture is the most relatable to the NFL. According to Beach and Chadwick, task culture has an emphasis on problem solution and harnessing resources to handle challenges. The NFL comes together to manage issues which could influence their operation and disrupt relationship with stakeholders. Such issues may originate internally or externally. The strength of the organizational culture measures whether it is thick or thin. In thick culture, members share the same values as one another and the organization as a whole, leading to everyone pulling towards achieving the same objectives. The NFL actively seeks to keep the environment stable, upholding its strengths. With the platform that the NFL is given, its global interests, having values and cultures that millions of people admire works favorably for the organization, sport, and country as a whole. Manifestations stay the same, but every year, if not every week, new moments are added and the cycle keeps moving. But what happens when culture is turbulent? The next organizational management area is conflict. Conflict occurs when two or more parties have opposing views on a matter. With resolutions proposed, each party believes their goal is being blocked when there is a disagreement. When a stalemate is a result of conflicts, this then evokes emotion. The management of conflict is important as leaders look to douse the opportunity of conflict becoming detrimental. Conflict exists in the NFL and is stimulated in different circumstances. Some examples of when conflict has occurred in the NFL includes the approval of teams uprooting from one state to another, leaving thousands of fans angry that they can no longer travel to watch their team play. Players kneeling during the national anthem after the American President Donald Trump's insightful comments. Nor do a degree of fans agree with the player protests. Player complaints about unfair disciplinary issues, especially regarding celebration. Interestingly, the NFL have managed to reach a compromise with the players and relax the rules of some celebrations. Thankfully, this is still ruled illegal. The NFL has continuously been plagued with reports linking concussions suffered by players to serious long-term brain ailments such as dementia, depression, and CTE. The table to the right has shown no real reduction of concussions from 2012 to 2016. The conflict process identifies the process of which conflict has occurred, the reception that it gets, and how conflict is addressed. First, beginning with latent conflict, there is a link between American football and concussion is found, which moves on to perceived conflict. Hard evidence, patterns reoccur, news articles are published, and pop culture, such as movies and TV shows, heightens awareness and scrutiny. 3. Felt conflict. Fear, anger, frustration are felt nationwide, which influences the stakeholders association with NFL and the sport. And 4. Manifest of conflict. It's the reaction of the NFL to reports and attempts at a resolution. Sources of conflict in the NFL have arisen from manipulated and lack of communications, as evidenced by the NFL's attempts at interfering with brain injury studies. Of recent, the NFL have had to manage the reactions of social issues. The resolutions of conflict is a task that management of the league will take particular and considered attention to. Failure to tackle conflict accordingly can have the organization and sports image tarnished. Participation figures in American football could drop among grassroots and collegiate level, with parents choosing safer sports for their children to play in. Players will have shorter careers, not wanting to run the risk of long-term effects, with either retirement coming earlier for fear of well-being or career-ending injuries. Negative publicity can cause people to boycott matches in the stadium and not watch on television either, due to the amount of unsightly head injuries being suffered. In the presence of ill effects that conflict can have, organizations have measures of conflict resolution techniques, which includes confrontation and negotiation, increase in resources, third-party intervention, use of authority, integration devices, job rotation, and avoidance. The NFL uses confrontation and negotiation with the representatives of ex-players and the mediation of a judge to agree on a settlement amount. After an agreement increased the amount of money to ex-players was entitled to depending on eligibility. We've now reached recommendations. So of late, there's been a lot of unease over the national anthem being played in the NFL. A recommendation would be to replace the national anthem for a brand theme exclusive song for the NFL. In doing so, it would lift the hostility on players by some fans. And there are also other ways to display patriotism. An example would be the Premier League. They've created a theme song played during the player introductions and displayed on international television broadcasts. In line with improving the culture of the organization, the NFL can celebrate diversity more regularly than they do so now. The NFL, following is very diverse, and there is an opportunity to recognize a group that make the organization and its global popularity. The NBA is an organization similar to the NFL, which shows support and appreciation of different cultures throughout the season. The NBA displays exhibition games overseas and team jerseys change in homage to diverse following. This concludes the 307 SEM Managing Operations Vodcast on the NFL. Thanks for watching.